Good morning, beginning farmer friends. It snowed last night. It kind of was a blizzard, not an extreme blizzard. We did not get the 8 to 12 inches that were predicted. We got 7 inches. A little further west than us, they did get the inches, but we do have some drifting, as in front of my canvas door right here. I've got a pretty big drift that has formed there. Basically, the reason that that drift formed is because in the rest of the shed, it just all blew through. I'm starting to think doors would be a nice thing because snow inside on the tractor, snow inside on the grinder mixer, snow inside on the corner, cats eating food. It is going to take some time to do the snow plowing today because 7 inches and it kind of blew around a little bit. That's a decent amount. Let's get started. This is quite the process today. There is quite a bit of snow that came in front of the shed. We'll see what it's like in the driveway. I know that it says we only got 7 inches, but I'm thinking there was a little bit more. It is very nice though to be in the cab. The only thing that's cold on me right now is my toes, and that's because I don't have proper boots. Proper boots would change everything. I will say that I am very thankful that I got all the feed and the hay put out before this snow came, because now I don't have to mess with it. I can just drive around, I can clear where I need to clear, but I don't have to get everything done right this second because the pigs have feed, the cattle have hay, they have straw, the pigs have bedding. Everybody is basically taken care of. The chickens have feed. We're gonna keep plowing right now, but I thought maybe while I was spending some time in the tractor, I would take a little bit of time to talk about those questions that I needed to ask myself before I set my goals for the year. Because January is almost over. It's about time I get these goals set. Back in the beginning of January, I noticed a trend on the small scale farming YouTube channels that I follow. And what I saw was they were all setting goals for 2021, or they were recapping their goals for 2020. And I realized like I wasn't even in a headspace where I could make a goal yet, let alone broadcast it on YouTube. So I came up with the questions that I needed to ask myself before I could set the goals. And now I've had some time to think about those questions. I'll give you the answers. The first question that I said needed to be answered was what needs to change on the farm. And basically I feel like the correct answer, or the most accurate answer, is everything, but I also feel like that's not attainable. So the biggest things that I feel like need to change on the farm and need to be part of my farm goals for this year is we need to change where our pigs come from. Meaning we need to be able to raise more pigs on the farm by ourselves, not buying in feeder pigs. The second thing that needs to change on our farm is efficiency. And when I'm talking about efficiencies, I'm kind of specifically in my mind thinking about the efficiencies of our chicken operation and our rotations, our pig rotations, our cattle rotations, so that we can get efficient in moving feed and water and mineral and all the pieces that need to be part of those rotations. So the two main things that we need to change, and there will be a lot that changes around those of course and goes along with those, is we need to change where our pigs come from and our efficiencies of movement on the farm. I got the back of the farm cleared out, good enough for right now. Now I need to go start moving vehicles around, starting with my truck, and start clearing out the front of the farm so we can get out to the road. One of the other questions that I asked was, why don't I have my projects done? And there's a couple projects that just have to be automatic goals on my farm this year. And the biggest one is the walk-in freezer. That is going to be a major priority to get done because there are so many other pieces that will fall into place when that project gets done. Things like raising chickens on the farm and having room for meat so that when we go to the market this year, we have a consistent supply all year long. So I guess what I'm gonna say is I'm moving that freezer project from one of those questions that I need to answer into a goal. Let's just make it a goal. Speaking of projects, how about we put some doors on the shed so I don't have to shovel it out? Oh my goodness. The third thing that I talked about was, what do I need to do to increase my sales this year? I've got a lot of thoughts on that, and the coolest one I'm not ready to talk about yet, but I'll give you the less cool ones. I think the biggest thing is something that I alluded to already with that freezer, and that is just making sure that I have cuts on hand all the time. There were a lot of times last year when I would go to the market and I didn't have chicken, or I didn't have pork chops, or I didn't have bacon, or I didn't have sausage, or, and this is a big one, I didn't have brats. This year, I really want to focus not only on the production, but the efficiencies of production so that I have something on hand all of the time. I think that will go a long ways increasing our sales, because people will come to know that they can always get something from us, or always get what they want from us. Look at this, there goes the county maintainer beside us, and he's got the big V-blade. That must mean there's some big drifts on the way to town. Back to increasing sales though. The other thing that I want to do is get better at my social media marketing aspect of the farm. I am actually signed up for a social media type of class for farms, and so I'm going to use that not only as A, accountability, but B, as a way to learn how best to market my farm through social media, things like Instagram and Facebook, to let people know that we're here and to continue building the story, because I have always said that story is the biggest piece of our marketing that we have. It got so hot in here that I actually had to turn the heat off and take my coat off. This is absolutely incredible having this cab tractor in here. Back to the subject at hand though. The fourth question that I asked myself way back then when I was thinking about how do I go about making goals was, what about chickens and where do they fit on our farm? Well, obviously that's one that I have already made a decision about. We have chickens ordered, we have a processor scheduled. Now the question is going to be, how much are we going to be able to raise, and what are we going to raise them in? So I guess my goal is already decided for this one. The goal is get the brooder shed ready, because they're coming any day now, and get a chicken wagon ready, because eventually they'll have to go in a chicken wagon. I ended up making two pretty awesome snow piles. The first one in the front yard from the front drive, it's a little smaller, and then there's this big one back here. This one is rather large. I'm pretty sure the kids are gonna have fun playing with that one. The last topic, or the last question that I needed to answer in order to make my goals, is that I wanted to figure out how to have more connections with our customers. And to be completely honest, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to flesh out this year. We're gonna have a farmer's market of some sort, I know that. We're gonna have our CSA, and those are two ways that I'm already connecting with our customers, but I don't know if we're gonna have a farm crawl, if we're gonna have on-farm events. I don't know how those will work out, so I still need to figure that out. I still need to work on it, but it needs to be a priority, I think. How do we connect with our customers? And maybe even more so, how do we connect with our customers here on this farm so they see what we're all about, they see what goes on our farm? All right, those are the answers to the farm questions. Now, what should my farm goals be? If you've got some ideas for me, comments down below, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed using the 4430 to plow snow. Man, I absolutely loved using the 4430 to plow snow. Now I'm gonna go park it in the shed. It's warm in here. It's even warmer in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and have lunch. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are and whenever it is.